Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. Let's see who we got over here in the chat. Looks like we got a little crew assembling over there. We've got Steve Ellison. Coffee is extra good on the bayou this morning. Good morning, Steve. Welcome to the coffee sessions. Larry Galt, chilly here in Texas. I bet it is. Clyde Labonte, good morning, sir. Stephen Toronto, Alexa says 32 degrees in Biloxi. Well, by gosh, that must be what it is then, because Alexa's never wrong. Kevin Ailes, how are you this morning, Kevin? Curtis Witzig, good morning. 6 degrees here in central Illinois. Oh, man, I get cold just thinking about that. Mark Vixel says, yep, it's hump day. It sure is. Steve Goronsky, good morning from Mustang, Oklahoma, where it's a balmy 28 degrees. Wow, that's cold. Eddie Hall's with us this morning. Good morning, Eddie. Ryan Ballard is in the house this morning. How you doing, Ryan? Troy Pritchard says happy hump day. Hitch Hamilton, good morning, everybody. 70 degrees here in Florida. Going down from here. Okay. 19 degrees there, Clyde says. Matt, awesome wood things, Haas, says, good morning. My 9 a.m. meeting was canceled, so I'm here. Awesome. Good to have you here, Matt. Welcome to the 55th edition of the coffee sessions. 55 of these things already. Can you believe that? Frankie's CNC and Woodworking channel. Somebody woke Frankie up this morning. It says 26 in the shop. Gosh, you need a heater, buddy. There's Janet. She says, good morning, everybody. How you doing, Janet? Hope you're doing well. I saw some beautiful pictures people were posting yesterday of the snow. And they look great from here. Yeah. Snow is so pretty when you're watching it from 600 miles away. Earl Walker's in the house this morning. It says 25 degrees in Ohio. Dave Clemens is in the house. Check out the profile pic 15 here. Oh, yeah, you got a profile pic here. 15 degrees there. Man, that's cold. That is dadgum cold. Good afternoon. Bloody cold here on the other side of the pond, Fred. All righty. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, Fred. Or I guess this afternoon, as far as you're concerned. Paul Stewart says, good morning, everybody. And I think we're caught up with the chats. All right. In case you haven't heard, here's Javi. He snuck in here. Good morning, Javi. In case you haven't heard, Alexa told me that today is Keith Richards' 76th birthday today. Man, that's something, isn't it? Keith Richards. Rock on, buddy. Rock on. They have had, if you don't know who Keith Richards is, he's the guitarist for the Rolling Stones. And you've had to have lived in a cave for the past 50-something years, I guess, or longer, to not know who Keith Richards is. But, yeah, 76 years old. That's amazing. Still going at it. Him and what's his face? I'm drawing a blank now. You know what I'm talking about. Um, and I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of his silly names right there on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, uh, Javi says Keith Richards has looked 90 years old ever since 1960. Yeah, he's never been a whole lot to look at, you know. Uh, but Mick Jagger, thank you, Hitch. That's what I was trying to think of. He says, "Oh, let's see." He says, "I got a guitar signed by Keith Richards and Mick Jagger." That's awesome. Awesome, yeah. And speaking of awesome, awesome with things telling me it's Mick. Yeah, Mick Jagger. Old skinny butt. Yeah. Uh, yeah, they still doing it. But man, they have had some. And I'm not a super big Rolling Stones fan. You know, they've never been my number one or anything. But you got to admit, the guys have been around since I don't even remember when. I mean, when I was young, I was just a kid, and they've been around long. I remember getting 45s. You know, you old guys know what a 45 is. Not the gun, the record, the 45 record. Um, I remember having some of those with "I Can't Get No Satisfaction" and what was it? Something 13th breakdown or something. Somebody help me. I know it's something about a breakdown. 19th nervous breakdown or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, a lot of great songs over the years by those guys. So what, if any of y'all are Rolling Stone fans or Keith Richard fans, let me know what your favorite guitar lick is by Keith Richards. Let's see what kind of songs we get thrown out there. I know what mine is, and I'll say it here in a little bit. I'll see if um, anybody mentions it. Uh, Steve in Toronto says, "Just saw Keith in New Orleans. He's always looked 76. Yeah, he's pretty rough. He's pretty rough around the edges, but he's had a rough life, even though it's been a very successful one. He's burnt the candle at both ends and sometimes in the middle, I think. But yeah, I see some good songs popping up here in the feed. We got Beast of Burden. That was a good one. Paint It Black. That's a good one. Start Me Up. I've always liked that song. That's a good, that's one of them good songs when you hear it like the basketball arena or something, or maybe a hockey match or something. They crank that up. That's always a good song for that. Frankie says he's so old they found a painting of him on a cave wall. He probably painted it if it was on there. So, Ron Coffee's in the house. How you doing, Ron? Javi says, "I've always liked Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Storms, even though I never understood 90% of the words." You don't need to know the words. You just make up stuff. That's the way we used to do it. Give Me Shelter. That's a good lick. Yeah, I like that one. Nobody said my favorite one yet, though. Let's see. I'm going to see if anybody says it here. Rolling Stones formed in London in 1962. Yeah, and I was starting first grade then. I think it was 62. Awesome. Well, Start Me Up was the Windows 95 theme song. Google it. Fun, crazy story. All right. I will do that. Yeah. It says Start Me Up. Yeah, that's a good one. Living the Dream, says Ron Coffee. Yeah, a lot of great songs. I can remember. It's weird how. Let me get a sip of coffee here. It's weird how you can hear a song sometimes, and within just the first few notes, you're immediately taken back into time, and you remember exactly where you were who you were with, and all this kind of stuff. And I've got one. Now, of course, nobody's going to remember. Maybe Janet will, because she was in my class. And none of you other guys would know this. But I remember one time we were at what I still refer to as the new high school. It's 45 years old now. I still call it the new high school because I went to high school at the one right there on Main Street for the first 3 years, and that's the one that Hitch graduated from because he was a year older than me. But then they built a new high school out on the west edge of town there, which, and I still call it the new high school. It'll always be the new high school to me. But we were the first class to graduate from that school, and it was much different than the old school. The classrooms, it was much more modern and all that stuff. But I can remember one time it was first period. I had Patricia Fox was the teacher. And I'm trying to think of what the class was. It was just some silly class because I'd already had enough credits to graduate. I was just kind of killing time that last year. But I was sitting there in her class, and Chuck McNabb was sitting across from me. Good old Chuck McNabb. And somehow when they came on the speakers to do the announcements, I remember hearing the song by the Rolling Stones called Angie. It's kind of a slow acoustic type song. So now every time I hear that song, right when it starts up, I think of me sitting there across from Chuck McNabb, and that coming on the announcement speakers. Weird how that works. How you are instantly sent back in time and remember exactly where you were and all that stuff. Can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I can remember stuff like that. Let's see. What does this say, Fred? Love the rumors with Marianne Faithful. I'm not sure about. Apparently that's funny, but I'm not. It's going over my head. I guess I'm missing out somewhere. Let's see. Frankie says he came up with a band name while building the Great Pyramids. Yeah. Tumbling Dice. That was another good one. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody say my favorite yet. I guess I'll go ahead and tell you what mine is. Mine is, as far as the guitar lick, and probably when I say it, you'll want to go to YouTube and find it. Maybe I'll post it later on my Facebook page or something. But it's a song called Can't You Hear Me Knocking? The way the guitar starts that off, I really always like that guitar. Like, it's just one of those where as soon as you hear it, you're like, yep, let's turn that sucker up. So, yeah, Can't You Hear Me Knocking? Good song, good song. All right. I did remember to hit the timer today, in case anybody's keeping track. You've been down here about 14 minutes. Let's see. Steve says, that's why music is so therapeutic. It can change your mood to whatever. Yeah. I've always, music has always affected me that way. I've like I said, I can't remember. I couldn't tell you what I had for lunch yesterday, but you name a song and I can probably think about it a minute and tell you where I was when I first heard it or something. If it's one of those kind of songs. Not all of them hit you that way, but I have a lot of them that are that way. I can remember right where I was at, who I was with, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, a little nippy here today. I see y'all will talk, well, other than Hitch down there in Florida, but pretty chilly everywhere. It was 31 when I crawled out of bed this morning at about 5:30. A little bit nippy, and I went and got my trash bin. I remembered to take my trash out yesterday, and had to go get my trash can because they've already been here and put some stuff in the mailbox, and it is sure enough nippy out there. So I got another little public service announcement here for those of you who might be counting. Probably nobody is over here except for maybe Hitch. Hitch might know this, but it's 158 days until. Does anybody know what it is? 158 days. I bet Hitch might know. I'll give him a minute because I know there's a lag on this thing. I'll see if anybody knows. Without Googling now, no Googling. Yeah, I saw he popped it up pretty quick. Yeah, 158 days until the Indy 500. Already counting those down myself too. So yeah, I figured you would know that, Hitch. But not other than that, not a whole lot going on. It's going to be sunny today. You know, I was telling y'all yesterday when I was doing the coffee sessions, we had a little commotion. The dogs were barking over there. And I'm not 100% certain, but I think I've lost my neighbors from across the street there. I don't know whether they just skipped out or what the deal is, but I noticed the guy that house is a rental house. And I noticed the guy who owns it is back over there, and he had a truck drop off one of those trash bin things. So apparently they've skipped out and left some stuff over there. And he's just going to haul it off, I guess. But they've been there a pretty good while. They've probably been there 4 or 5 years. A little weird, but they don't bother me. So you don't bother me, I won't bother you. But it's weird, and I think we've talked about this before, but it's weird how neighborhoods are, or maybe it's just my neighborhood, but nobody talks to each other anymore. It's like, leave me alone or whatever. And I'm not going to be a chatty Cathy or anything, but I think you should be friendly to your neighbors, and it's good to know their name and who they are and stuff like that, and kind of watch out for one another when you're out of town or something like that. But these people around here, they don't I drive by, and if I see them out, I'll throw up a hand and wave, and they just look at me like, what the hell are you doing, old man? So I don't know. So it looks like I might be getting some new neighbors. I don't know. That's some awesome coffee. I'm here to tell you. Ryan Ballard says I'm going to be pew, pew, pew today. And for those of you who don't know what pew, pew, pew means, that's CNC talk for he's going to be shooting laser beams. Got a new little laser to put on this machine. And from what I saw, it looks like you're getting it dialed in pretty good, Ryan. It says 70 is high today, going down to 50s tonight. See, that's kind of the way we were yesterday. It was warm, or maybe it was the day before. Yeah, I guess it was the day before. It was really warm that morning, and then we had those storms come in. And then right behind it was the cold front, and everything got cold, but it's all good. 31. It's all good. 45 days until my favorite holiday, Groundhog Day, where I watch the movie over and over all day. I've never been a fan of that movie. It just seems silly to me. But then a lot of movies do to me. I'm just not a big movie buff. Ronald Cool says, weird. Try my neighbor. They have packages delivered daily, and they will leave in weather for weeks at a time. Yeah, I saw, where was it? Somebody help me out here. Somewhere I saw on the news that they were trying to make Porch Pirates, which has gotten to be a pretty bad thing these days. But they were trying to make it where it's a felony now. I don't know if they'll get that passed or not, but I tell you, somebody to do stuff like just a thief in general, that's like the lowest life form as far as I'm concerned. Everybody knows, you may not know a lot of things, but everybody knows whether something's yours or not. And to just come up there and take it is just, I always worry sometimes about sticking stuff in my mailbox, putting the flag up. I got, I told you yesterday, I think I got the big mailbox and it saves me trips to the post office. I just, we'll stick 2 or 3 boxes in there, whatever I'm shipping, and my mailman picks them up. But, as far as if somebody was to drive by and see the flag up and go, oh, there's something in there and take them, they wouldn't even know what they are, for one thing. But it would just really tick me off to have to redo them and do them again. And it would be something that once they got it, if somebody stole it and once they got it and opened it up, they'd go, oh, you know what this is? And they'd just throw it away. But that, Porch Pirates are, he says, must not have port. Yeah, he's talking about that comment, I think. You're getting all those things delivered. What is the chance of bothering your neighbors in a typical subdivision with a CNC machine in your garage? Well, I don't know what you consider a typical subdivision. I'm kind of fortunate because I'm on the end of a street. All the streets, there's like one main street that comes into this, and then there's a bunch of little streets that go off, and they're all cul-de-sacs. So there's not even that many houses. They're like if I look out this window, I'm looking right at the center of the cul-de-sac, and it's only about 800 feet back this way to the stop sign. So there's only 3, 4, 5 houses. There's 3 around the cul-de-sac. There's, 4, 5 houses. That's it. The other houses are on the other street over there. So so it's, and we're not big, it's not like we got big lots or anything, but it's just, there's, a couple houses have bought double lots and stuff. So we're spread out pretty good. And the other thing is, on the other side of me is a Christian school, but their football field / baseball field / soccer field butts up to my property over here on the side. Well, there's never anybody out there because, they don't have games that often. So I'm very fortunate, and my garage is on that end too. So if I'm running the CNC that's in my garage, it's, even when I leave the door open and I walk up to the mailbox to get the mail, it's not that loud. So nobody's going to say anything. Barbara Denman's in the house. Good morning, Barbara. Merry Christmas to you. Hope all is well down there in Milton, Florida. So, but yeah, it's, and of course, when I have the garage door closed, which I usually do keep the door closed, that makes it even quieter. So nobody's ever complained. Because it's just not that loud. I'm not as loud as some of the other stuff I hear. So I don't think I've been here a long time, and a lot of my neighbors now, if they did complain, I'd just say, "Look, I got seniority. I've been here longer than you, so go on back home." I'm just kidding, but Larry Galt says it is in Texas, so it's a felony. I thought stealing mail was already a felony. I think stealing, and I don't know, but I'm just what I think. I think that stealing U.S. mail is a felony, but Porch Pirates, like if it's the delivery from UPS or Amazon or something, I don't think that is everywhere. And I wish I could remember where it was that it might have been right here in Georgia for all I know, because I think I heard it on the local news. But yeah, drugs will make you do anything. Yep. Unfortunately, it will. But yeah, I've recently, I bought a security system a long time ago, but I've only recently installed the cameras, and I've got my screen right there. I can sit right here and see everything all around my house. But I have one aimed right at the front door. But I've never had a problem with anything. Of course, I better knock on wood, because of course, one thing too is I'm usually here. But even back when I worked and was gone, it wasn't a problem. But when I think about it, back then, most everything was delivered by UPS, and UPS a lot of times wouldn't even get here until after I got home from work. But yeah, I ordered a lathe one time, and UPS brought it, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm glad I was here when that came. Yeah, hopefully I'll never have a problem. And anybody, of course, nobody knows me because they don't even talk to me around here. But if anybody knew the way I am, they wouldn't try to come up to my porch and grab one of my packages anyway. I'm usually, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. Y'all can probably tell that. But when it comes to strangers walking up to my door, I'm not a very friendly person. I don't like door-to-door salesmen coming around and try to sell you something. I don't like any of that stuff. If I didn't invite you here, get off my property. I don't even want to see you walking up my driveway. But unless you bring me a package, unless you get in an Amazon truck or something, then you can come on. But it says Rocky and Jack are the best security system. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I seriously doubt that anybody would even come up that close, because they're probably not going to sneak up on them. They'd have to be pretty sneaky. Especially Jack. Rocky's, he's a little easier to sneak up on that because he don't hear as good. But Jack is Johnny on the spot. He'll bark at a squirrel in the front yard, much less somebody walking up the driveway. Ryan Ballard says, my brain is hurting trying to figure out a proposal for a client wanting a battery backup system. Can't help you there, buddy. Porch Pirates must think it's weird also for my neighbors. I actually seen FedEx pick packages up all over the yard and stack them back up. That is weird. Let's see here. Dave Clemens says, gotta get to getting. See ya, Dave, Javi, and everyone else tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic day. Bye. All right, Dave, we'll see you, buddy. Hit me a thumbs up on the way out. Janet says, get off my lawn. Yeah, I tell you, it's I mean, if you come to my house, I hate to even say this because y'all will think I'm one of those old get off my lawn type guys, and I kind of am. But I've got a sign hanging on my front porch, and it's big enough that they can read it before they get all the way up there. But it just flat, it just I'm just being perfectly honest. It says absolutely no soliciting. In other words, get out of here. Go away. That's basically what I can't remember exactly how I worded it, but that's basically because I got tired of, answering the door and it'd be somebody that wants to talk to me about, sell me something or talk to me about religion or politics or whatever. And I don't want to hear it. I don't need anybody to come talk to me, especially politics, and try to tell me, tell me about somebody who I should vote for, stuff like that. I can make my own mind up. So, and everybody should. So keep out. Yeah. Yeah. I used to have, it wasn't really bad, but I used to have, when I first moved here, like I said, my property butts up to the football field over here. And every once in a while I'd be out in my garage or something. I'd look up and there's somebody walking across my driveway and hopping over the fence to go to that football field. And it wasn't very often, but I just didn't like it. I'm like, people don't have any respect for other people's property. It's like they'd see me out there and they still wouldn't go, hey, is it okay if we cut across there? They just do it. And that's what makes me mad, is that they think it's okay to do, without asking. And I wasn't brought up that way. You just don't do that. So I put up a 5-foot fence, chain link fence that runs, and my other neighbor, she had put one up. So we kind of tied them in together. So now there's no way to get through there because there's no gate. So they have to jump it. And I did catch a kid climbing over it one time, but he didn't do it but that once. In fact, he jumped over, and then when I hollered at him, he climbed, he was going to go. And I said, no, you're not. I said, you can climb back over and you can walk around. So he did. He climbed back over. Of course, he was apologizing all over himself, but it's like one of them things. I'm like, you knew you were wrong when you did it. So you're only sorry because you got caught. Like most of them, they always want to cry and act so pitiful when you catch them. But yeah, that's the only thing you're sorry about, is that you got caught. Anyhow, how did we get off on that crazy subject? My little timer went off, 33 minutes and 40 seconds. So it's time for me to get busy. Janet says, we tried putting up no trespassing signs to keep the four-wheelers off our property, and were told by a cop that all they had to say was that they didn't see it. See, I don't understand that, because it seems like because I've got the same kind of signs posted on my fence over there. But it seems like that's once you post it, it shouldn't matter whether they see it or not. If you've got it posted where it's in clear, plain sight. I don't know. I just don't know. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. It's been on there about 35 minutes. Time for me to get to work, find something to do. Y'all have a great day. Stay warm. And let's see. Yeah, 7 more days and it's Christmas. So everybody better be good at least for 7 more days. All right. We're out of here. Let me see if I can find that magic button. It's over here somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. Everybody have a great hump day, and we will see y'all tomorrow. 0900. Take care, everybody.